Hello everybody. So I'm going to do a tarot talk video. It's been a while since I've done one of these. The tarot talk, as it stands at the moment, are still available on the YouTube playlist. Just to remind everybody that with the Down the Rabbit Hole, Dark Side of Spirituality, Spirituality 101, Witchcraft 101, and the Rise of the New Wave collections, they are now only available across on Patreon. So if you do want to become a Patreon member, the link is in the bio. So today I am talking about accountability. Okay, it seems to be something that is so desperately lacking in all of society right now. This might turn into a bit of a rant, to be honest with you. So yeah, accountability is sadly lacking in all areas of life at the moment, and people don't want to take responsibility for themselves. We live in this kind of throwaway culture and society. When we think about the love, down the love angle, because a lot of love readings on here. We live in this Tinder throwaway swipe culture. Where we're just kind of desperately thinking that we can do better, and we're looking for the next best thing, and it's all based on bullshit, basically. Now, the reason why I want to talk about accountability is a couple of reasons. The first one is that a lot, as you can imagine, especially on TikTok, I do an awful lot of love-based readings, a lot of situationship type ones. Now, something that keeps kind of cropping up is that it's easy to fall into kind of victim mentality, and it is. I've been there before. It's easy to sit there and go, somebody did this to me, somebody did that to me, blah 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 blah, and that's very, very, very bad. When you're talking about a toxic relationship or a situationship, yes, the person who's stringing you along, the person who's manipulating you, they are a bad person and they need to fucking go to hell, really. But ultimately, we have to take accountability for ourselves as the victim as well, because if we take a situationship, for example, the more you wait around and the more that you let people treat you that way, you're feeding into it. Okay, you're feeding into it. And you need to take some responsibility for that. Likewise, if it's something like a toxic family, and you keep kind of mothering them and nurturing bad behaviour because you don't want to be a bad person, you don't want to upset people, you're feeding into it. And you can flip it and say, well, the more you do that, the more you're taking the accountability away from the other person, and they're not learning their life lessons. Likewise, granted, it's difficult when you're in the thick of it, but if you're in a toxic relationship and you're not being accountable when the red flags come up, and again, I've been there, not judging, but it's things that we need to think about. You're feeding into that. You're feeding into that. Okay. The other thing with accountability, as I always say, I'm an activator reader. I'm here to wake people the fuck up to their potential. Now, if people aren't then taking the steps to make the changes, that's not on me. That's on you. Okay. As a reader, and an actual reader, not one of these bullshit readers who just tells people what they want to hear, doesn't give any advice because it means opening up about their vulnerabilities and taking themselves off the pedestal and their high tower. I understand that my job is here to help people wake up and realise, do you know what, maybe I can do better, but it means doing the hard work. Okay, as I always say, if I'm not cracking people and I'm not getting through to them, it makes me feel like I'm not doing my job right. Now, there's only so much I can do, okay, because I understand that at the end of the day, it is the client's job to make the changes. It's not mine as a reader. And, I've been told off for saying this in the past. Don't give a shit. It's what I think and it's what I feel. As I always say, if I have a client come round and we do the reading, etc., once they get up and they leave, I don't give a shit what happens to them, and I don't. And it might sound really harsh, I'm not a healer, and I'm not, okay? Too many healers take on other people's burdens and woes. The reason why I don't give a shit is because it's not my life, Okay, I have my own life and I've got enough challenges in my life without worrying about every person who comes through the door. Now, I like to say this on occasion because it makes people kind of hopefully wake up to the fact that, oh, yes, the reader's there to wake me up, not to sort all my life problems out for me. You know, like I say, do I want return custom? Yeah, of course I do. I need to pay the bills. I need to feed the animals. I need to feed myself. But what I'd like, and when I know I've done a good job, is to do the reading, and then the person comes back X amount of time later and wants a reading on something else, not the same reading over and over and over again, because it means that I'm not getting through. Okay, and if I'm not getting through, I'm quite happy to say at this point I might not be the reader for you. Okay. The point being is that the reason why people don't make the changes because they don't want to take take any accountability. Like I say, we live in a society, in a world where it's always somebody else can do it. Okay, now just flipping it back to the whole spiritual community thing, people want change. People want affordability. People want to not live in this fear anymore of being controlled by evil event organisers. So I step up. I go, well, I'll sort it out then. You know, kind of forced into the position. Don't get me wrong, not something I wanted to do. But I'm out of my Todd doing it. Why is that? Because people don't want to take accountability. It's this attitude of somebody else can fucking do it. You know, and that's perfectly fine. But, you know, we live in a spiritual community where there should be support and there should be people understanding what their job and role is. And still these people don't get it. Still they think about themselves. Why? Because they don't want to take accountability for their actions. Okay, now at the end of the day, being a spiritualist, I see everything as energy, nothing more, nothing less. You know, I'm not judge, jury, and executioner, be it, you know, with clients or with the community at large. No, I'm here to wake people up. I'm the walking fucking tower card. Now, it's down to those people to make the changes that they need to make. It's down to them to stop seeing things in fear and realizing we're just energy. And if you're a starseed or a light worker, you've got a fucking job to do. You've got a mission to do. And if you want to sit back and let somebody else do it, well, you fucked your mission then, and you're coming back again, and next time it'll be harder. It is Source that is judge, jury, and executioner, not Urban Warlock Healing. Okay, I am just here to wake people up. You know, it's time for people to start realizing that you've got to save yourselves. Okay, you've got to save yourselves. Okay, and you've got to put boundaries in place. You know, unless you put boundaries in place, people will continue to come forward and ask you things and can you do this? Can you do that? Blah, 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 blah. You know, you go and see a professional therapist or counsellor, you get a specified time slot, and at the end of that time slot, they go, right, that's it. And if you're mid-sentence, it's no, that's it, right, that's your time off your fuck. And the reason why they do that is to stop people becoming codependent on them. Okay. Now, as readers, we have this same thing, and we do. Okay. And it's about setting those boundaries, because if you don't set the boundaries, people just keep coming forwards. Why? Because again, they don't want to take accountability to make the changes that they need to make. Okay, so if you're watching this and you know it's triggered you, well, question why it's triggered you, because obviously you're part of the problem because you're not taking the making the changes to, you know, and being accountable for yourself. Like I say, I'm not here to help people fix their lives. I'm here to wake them up, and that's what a reader really should be doing. Yeah, you do have some slightly fluffier readers who can take you on a bit of a longer journey, don't get me wrong, but the majority of us readers are just here to say, this is what's coming up if you're a divination reader like me, okay? And this is what I'd recommend. Now off you fucking sort it out. There you go. Nearly 10 minutes, I'm going to leave it there. Everything's on sale. Go and have a look. Ta-ta.